Hello, my name is Rabi Nassar. I'm the founder of Scriptr. It is playing on its own. Okay, so I'm the founder of Scriptr. I hope I can show you how awesome the platform is in 10 minutes. If I take a little bit more, please forgive me. I believe we're the youngest company here, based on the amazing platforms that I've seen earlier. There are similar concepts that have been floated around with the previous demonstrations. I'll explain a little bit about Scriptr. You know, IoT integration and IoT solutions are complex solutions, and in IT, with every complex solution, the only way to get out, the only way to implement it usually is by writing code. So while we completely support higher level constructs, drag and drop and stuff like that, which I'm going to show you, the founding concept in Scriptr is a script. We've done it very simple. Our scripts are in JavaScript, and the concept is the creation of services using JavaScript. So as you see on this slide, this is the most basic screen. I don't know what's happening. It's jumping around. So this is the most basic screen that a developer would see when they log into Scriptr. It looks like an IDE, and they would write some business logic. This business logic is about a thermostat application. It's very simple, for the sake of the demo. And immediately that business logic becomes a web service. It becomes a secure, scalable web service that you can invoke with HTTP, WebSockets, MQTT, AMQP, etc., and using additional integrations. Now, Scriptr is not only about that scripting component, which is the glue that brings everything together internally and externally. So internally, we have 80 additional APIs that do everything from device management, persistence. We bundle in the product a very powerful database, NoSQL database that supports metadata and binary data, and integration and messaging and identity management, etc. So those 80 APIs come out of the box. They can be used by the developer to develop the application, or mashed with external APIs and interfaces. Now, as I said, scripting is the core concept. I'm going to show you in the presentation, in the live demo, some additional stuff that we can do on top of scripting. For example, here you see a finite state machine, which is very useful when you're doing automation. This finite state machine is a web service, because this is how Scriptr works. The developer would drag and drop and fill in the properties and write the conditions for the transitions and all that, and that would translate immediately into a web service. The screen on the right is a drag and drop pseudo language that allows non-developers to write logic, and is useful if when non-developers want to affect the application. So I'm going to switch to the demo. Okay, this is. It kind of zoomed out. I don't know if you can see. All right. So when you log into the script, so this IDE is one way of developing with Scriptr. This is the simplest way. You can access this IDE by registering directly on the site, on the website. This is a simple. I'm demonstrating a simple way to create a service, so you can write some JavaScript code. And as you see here at the top, this would be the web service that is generated automatically, and it can be debugged right from this interface. And you can see the curl statement that you can use to use that service from externally. Now, I talked about the state machine. So this state machine is actually a web service. It can be. I'm sorry, I can't see my screen. That's why I'm taking some time. So it can be created by dragging and dropping, etc. And this also would generate a secure web service. This is another, the first script that I showed you, this does the same functionality and allows you to just drag and drop elements to create the logic. I'm going to switch to a demo that is actually from a customer, that is actually from a customer project. So one of our customers is a very large construction company. They have projects on 5 continents. They're, I think, one of the top 15 global construction companies. They have equipment worth billions of dollars. And they started an initiative more than a year ago to connect all these machinery to the internet, to further connect it to their fleet management, to their maintenance system. They use IBM Maximo, for example, and to other ad hoc applications that they're creating internally. Now, their problem was these machines are from different vendors. So these different vendors use different protocols, different dictionaries for the same diagnostic codes, etc. So they needed the problem of carrying the data from each one of these machines to the cloud was solved. But what they needed on that data path from the cloud to, let's say, IBM Maximo or their fleet management or some other applications, they needed to get this information translated, apply some business rules, etc. And so this user interface is implemented on top of Scriptr. So this is one way of doing drag and drop, etc. And this user interface allows them to configure these data paths and implement the business rules that they need for each type. Add the business rules that they need for each path that connects these machines to the destination systems. So that's one example application of Scriptr. I will go back to the presentation. Okay, so I don't know why it's jumping. A couple of words about the typical use cases of Scriptr. People that are developing IoT solutions always need a back end to support the logic that will drive the IoT solution. Scriptr is extremely well positioned for that. It allows the developers to write the code that will drive the solution, to prototype it, and then to take it into production immediely without having to worry about scalability or similar issues. The other use of Scriptr is into the small data to big data path, which is never straightforward, it's never passive. Whenever you have a lot of sensors and you want to take that and throw it into a big data lake or into some enterprise system to process it, you would need to implement business rules in the middle. This was the example that I showed you. Scriptr is also great to solve this kind of problems. Now, a little bit about Scriptr. First, Scriptr is instantaneous and free, meaning it's available right off the website, scriptr.io. You can register and start using it immediately. When you want to move into production, then you can pick one of our standard cluster sizes based on the scale that you'd require. We have universal platform support. We support desktop platforms. We support all mobile platforms, and we support all IoT platforms with SDKs and agents, etc. We're JavaScript based. There's no need to learn anything practically. This is the widest developer base you can think of. We're extremely scalable. Scriptr works on a public cloud. On-premise, we have customers that have implemented it in their own data centers, such as mobile operators, telcos. And we have the same capabilities that you have on the cloud available on the edge. I have 20 seconds. Can I get a minute more. Scriptr is highly secure. We support tokens. We support request signing, secure protocols. We have ACL security on all resources, etc. And it's very cost effective compared to a lot of other platforms. Do I get more time?
No, I'm afraid not, to be fair. I have to viciously cut you off. A round of applause, everybody, please.